morning. So here we are, November in Edinburgh, and we've got sunshine, so that's nice. Right, today we are going to be working from the floor, so it's going to be a fairly, well, I don't know, not necessarily gentle because it depends how you work it, but it can be gentle if that's what you need. And you will need to have like a block or something under your head if you need that. And also we need something to be able to lift your hips up on. So I've got my trusty bolster, but you can use a couple of yoga blocks or a firm cushion or two. And as well as that, we're going to need a yoga belt. Okay, right, so let's just start off. First of all, we're going to lay on the floor, and if you have your cushion ready and just, or your blocks, and just pop yourself up onto your blocks or bolster. So it's maybe 2 blocks worth. But if you find that that's uncomfortable, you can just stay with 1. So in this point, we have nothing under our head because the idea is to have the hips slightly raised so that we can get our shoulders tucked under. Nice, lovely. And then we can open the chest. Yeah. Okay, now let's just actively tuck one shoulder and then the other shoulder under. Yeah, don't have the arms too high at this point. I'm going to just keep the arms, first of all, lower down. And that way you can just notice what happens, how when your arms are lower, it's easier to get your shoulders tucking. But if you take your arms higher, you're not necessarily going to get that tuck so well. Okay, now we're going to bring our right knee to our chest. So just pulling that right knee towards you. And we're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So let's get our Ujjayi breath going. So as we breathe in, we think about taking the breath in through the front of the throat and out through the front of the throat. It's really opening the chest, letting the shoulders relax. See how close to your body you can pull the knee. Lovely, and then we're just going to straighten out that left leg and you'll find it will float a little bit off the floor. And again, we're holding that position, keep our shoulders tucked under, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice, and then we're going to bring that foot back on the floor, both feet back on the floor, knees still bent, and now we're going to hug the left knee to the chest. So if you find that your knee is very far away, just try taking it out to the side a little bit, pulling it close, and then move it towards the center. So you want to have that knee as close to your ribs as you can manage, the front of your thigh. Keep the right knee bent, the right foot on the floor, breathing. That feeling of the lovely tuck of the shoulders tucking under. Chest opening. Ujjayi breath. So we got that in through the nose as if you were breathing in through the front of the throat. Out through the nose as if you were breathing out through the front of the throat. Now we're going to straighten out that right leg. You'll find that the heel will just float off of the floor and just stretching the leg in midair. Keep that, your belly drawing in and up. Keep the shoulders firmly on the ground. Nape of the neck long. Nice. And then we'll bring both knees towards the chest. So as you do that, try not to roll your bottom off. Keep the lower part of your spine, the base of the spine, keep that connected to your block. But from there, pulling the knees towards your chest. Keep your shoulders rolling back and down. Breathing. So it's quite an active pose. You get a feeling of spreading across the front of the chest. Nape of the neck is lengthening. So we're not doing this kind of thing with the chin up in the air and an overarch at the back of the neck, but rather slide the nape of the neck along. So your chin moves more towards your chest and your shoulders tuck under, broaden across the front of the chest. Breathe. Okay, if you find it absolutely impossible to stretch your nape of the neck along the floor, then you probably want to just pop your head up on a low block or a folded blanket. Right, we're going to take that right catch around the right thigh, and we're going to just make circles now with the right foot. If you can stretch your leg up to do that, then great, but otherwise you can just keep your knees slightly bent. Keep the tailbone down onto your bolster or block. Keep your shoulders pinned open in the chair. Circling. Keep our Ujjayi breath going. We're going to change the direction of the circles. So we're trying to describe as big a circle as we can with that big toe. Keep the breath going. Nice. And then let that knee drop back and change legs. So you can either hold, or if you can just have the leg up in the air, then fine. If you need to bend the knee, bend the knee. And also if you find that your leg's too far away and it's a bit hard to reach, you can obviously use your belt around your the thigh to get that lovely rotation without stressing your upper body. Keep the upper body nice, neutral, tucked under, nape of the neck long. So we're rotating in that left ankle now. See how wide a circle you can describe with that left ankle. Okay, and now we're going the other way. Lovely. One more. Great. And done. So let's take our knees now back to keep your feet off the floor, bringing the knees forward. If you find it a little bit hard to get your knees forward, it's possible you need to be slightly higher. And then we're going to just lift that, keep that left heel pushed just down, but then just lift your right leg. Now, we're scooping and hollowing. Take the arms out to the side. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bring it back. So this is working from the core. Try and keep everything in the upper body just the same as you do that. Exhale, straight, inhale back. Exhale, straight, inhale back. Now if you find it quite hard, you don't need to go all the way, just stretch as much as you can. If you can go straight and back. Get these rib cages just slightly descending, so we're not pulling out, we're not lifting our ribs up into the air. We're keeping them soft. Keep these shoulders down. Okay, let's change legs. So pop This is like back in the start position, and we're lifting up the left heel so that it's in line with the knee. And off we go. 1, 1, 2, 2. Keep the scoop in hollow. So all we're doing is like imagine that your heel, you're just pushing away with your heel, and then the heel's being, just maybe if you imagine a spring on the heel, you're pushing the spring with your heel, and then the spring pushes back. We keep our tummy drawing in and up, so we're activating the lower back, and we're activating the core, I mean. We do activate the lower back a bit, to be fair. Scoop and hollow. So all this area is working. Okay, lovely. And last one. Great. Okay, so if you find that it's quite hard work to keep your tummy drawing in, then we're just going to repeat with the right leg, and then I'll tell you when to swap to the left. If you want to take it up a level, we're going to lift both ankles, and we're going to do right leg back, and then left leg back. Now you have to keep the base of the spine, keep it on the floor. Keep these ribs from flare, don't let the ribs flare. So the back of the ribs stay towards the floor. 2, and we've got a lovely scooping hollow. Breathing. Really actively draw your lower abdomen in and up, nice and smooth, nice and slow. Slow it down, Richard. Breathing. Let's do 4 more. 1, 1, 2. Oh, sorry, you should have changed leg. If you're just doing it with one leg, you want to change that leg. I should have said that before, I beg your pardon. And let's do a few more to give the left leggers a chance to do a few more. Scoop and hollow. Just activating these core muscles. Keeping the back ribs down. Lovely, and release. Okay, and then we'll just let our knees up to the chest. And breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Now we're going to take hold of our belt and make, if you've got a loop, or you don't really need a loop, but if you can catch around your right foot, just stretch your right foot up in the air. Now let your tailbone drop down onto your block or your bolster, and you want to just put the foot, the sole of the foot, towards the ceiling. So if your knee's bent, you might find it harder to do that, but you want to get a feeling of stretching your heel and bring your toes down towards your shin. And if you find that easy, you can bring your foot right forward. Keep neutral upper body, keep that broadness across the front of the chest. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the nose, sending that heel away. Bringing the toes towards the shin. Nice, lovely. And then let go, and we'll just bring that right knee back to join our left, and then we'll do the same thing on the left side. So make sure that you're not pulling up off your block or your bolster. Let your bottom go firmly down. And then if you need to, you can bend the knee, catching around your left foot. So we want to stretch that left heel up towards the ceiling and let the front of the foot come down towards the shin. So wherever, even if your knee's bent, you're going to feel that hamstring stretch. Just softening into that stretch. Keep the shoulders rolling back and down. Keep these back ribs from flaring up. You know, they're not going to be on the floor, but we're not pulling up from the floor. Shoulders rolling back and down, nape of the neck long. If you need to have something under your head, not too much, then you can do that. Those of you that can, straightening the legs, sending that heel up to the ceiling, and some of you can then bring your leg forward a little bit. Just noticing the difference on each side. One side might feel a lot more able to come than the other. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the nose. So really activate your Ujjayi breath. This is called yin yoga, in that you're using the breath to help you soften into the stretch. And just hold it a little bit longer. Really relax the brain, relax the mind. Can we stretch the heel away a little bit more, bring the toes a little bit more towards the shin. Can we bring that front thigh down towards the rib cage? Keeping the base of the spine connecting to your bolster or cushions or blocks, whatever you're up on. Lovely. And then release. Great. Okay. Now, keep your, I think you could be up a little bit higher there, Richard. Have you got 2 blocks or 1? Yeah, put 2. Okay, so keeping our knees just in our legs, let our feet, our heels be down by our legs, so we're quite comfortable, and just bring the knees slightly forward so you're not having to use any effort to hold them there. We're taking our arms now up to the ceiling, and have your hands parallel. Now let's inhale, lift up as high as you can so that your shoulders come slightly off the floor. And then as you exhale, can you just drop your shoulders back down again? Inhale up, exhale. Inhale up, exhale down. And down. One more, inhale up, exhale down. Good. Now turn your palms away so that they're facing away from your face. And then we're going to bring, let's make them slightly wider. We're bringing one arm back. Whoops, check you got nothing in the way. And the other arm forward. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, and then inhale back up. We're going the other way. All sorts of impediments here. Inhale up. Exhale, chin. Inhale up. Exhale, chin. Keep the shoulders down, away from the ears. You may not get all the way to the floor, that's fine. Don't do the movement by humping the shoulder up to the ear. Keep that shoulder down, away from the ears. Lovely. And then come up to the start position, both arms up in the air. And then we're going to take both arms back behind you. You may need to have your arms wider. And then inhale up. Keep the shoulders dropped again. Both arms back behind you. Inhale back. Again, back behind you. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Just stretch, feel that stretch through the arms. And release. Great. Okay, right. Now, take the arms. We're going to, don't have your feet. If you're going to put your feet on the floor, then you want to come off blocks. Clasp the hands around the body. See if you can catch underneath the shoulders. And then clasp the other way. Now we're going to open out to the side. So we want the backs of the hands on the floor. Roll our shoulders back and down. And then again, hug. Open. Hug the other way. And open. Okay. Now let's just take one foot down and then the other. And we'll just lift up and we'll move away whatever we've got underneath us. Send that tailbone away. Now without that raised hips, some of you will find that you will then need now to put something under your head. So if you find that your chin's going up in the air and the nape of the neck, you're rounding, you've got a big curve here in the neck, then you want to just make sure that you can let the nape of the neck be long. So it may involve just popping your head up on something. Keep your shoulders rolling back and down. Now stretch your arms out again to the side. Palms facing up. Don't have them too high, maybe just a little bit lower than shoulder. And then we're going to rotate, exhale, rotate. Look along your right arm, your right hand, down to your right hand. Breathing. And then drop your chin to chest, come back to center, and then exhale, look over down the left hand, turning the head to look down the left arm, left hand. Lovely, and then chin to chest, release. Okay, and then we're just going to stretch the arms, stretch the legs. Okay, now we're going to do a diagonal stretch now, so stretch through the right arm and the left leg. And as you do that, just keep the back of the waist down to the floor. Not on the floor, but towards the floor. And then the other way, so left hand, left arm, right leg. Diagonal stretch through the body. Nice, and then back to center, bend the knees, Now at this point we have to take any cushion away from the head. Tuck our shoulders under, both feet on the floor. We're going to push through the feet, let the tailbone lengthen, and one vertebrae at a time. We're lifting up. If we can, bring sternum towards the chin. Now you don't need to lift high, but then we're going to let one leg come up and down. As we do, change leg. As we do that, see if you can keep your hips in the even line, so we're not dipping one hip. So just keep doing that, alternate. If you find it quite hard, then obviously just do what you can. So just notice when you swap to make sure that you're not dipping. Lovely, keep going. And up as high as you can. See if you can get the foot pointing up to the ceiling. 3 more. 1. 1. Keep your hips a little bit higher, Richard. 2. 2. Last 1. 3. 3. Good. And then to come down, we're going to send that tailbone away. Come down and then just stretch. Stretch the arms, stretch the legs. Lovely. And then we're going to just roll onto our tummies now. And stretch out the arms and legs, but this time on our belly. So forehead on the floor if you can, or you can use a block to rest your forehead on. And bring your feet towards each other. Backs, the tops of the feet on the floor, try and soften them onto the floor. And then we'll see if we can push our feet together. Push our knees and thighs together, and then we're going to just bend the left knee. So the toe points up to the ceiling. Keep our hips connecting down to the mat. Just lift your knee and hold it. Well, maybe just slide our hands down a little bit. Lift that left knee and then down. Lift the left knee and then down. Lift the knee, lovely. And down. Lift. And down. Okay. Right foot. Toe pointing to the ceiling. Yeah, you can just slide your arms down a little bit so your forearms are supporting you, and we're lifting the right knee and down. Lift and down. And okay, now both feet pointing up to the ceiling. We'll just alternate now. So lift left knee down, right knee up and down, left knee up, right knee up. Just keep your shoulders away from your ears as you do this. And then see if we can do both knees off the floor. So don't worry if it doesn't go very much, but just get a feeling of lift. You'll feel that in your buttocks. Hold. And then relax. Good. Okay, and then just relax for a moment. Okay, so bringing your hands now again in front of you, your body. Just now bring your elbows about shoulder distance, and then just slide your forearms forward. Have your elbows underneath your shoulders. You can clasp your hands together if you find that you need to do that, but if you can keep your hands apart, then great. And then we're going to exhale, rotate, roll the tummy off the floor. Inhale, roll the thighs off the floor, tuck your feet under, and we're going into our plank. Shoulders away from the ears. Lovely. So that's it. See if you can get your tummy off the floor, and then if that's nice, and if that's nice stretch, and if that's coming, roll your thighs off the floor, and if that's okay, tuck your feet behind you and stretch through your leg. Very nice, Trish. Lovely. Now, if anyone wants to try stretching one arm, when you go in the plank, see if you can take the weight off one hand and just straighten one hand. You might want to try that, Victoria. So if you go up into your plank, take your time, and then just you're going to bring your weight onto, say, your left arm, and see if you can stretch out through you. Very good. And then back, try the other arm. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Good. Well done. Lovely. And then release. Okay. So let's come up now into kneeling position. And then we're going to slide the right knee forward. Going for our stretch into the right glute. Yeah, or you can do this from the floor, Kirsten, if you want to, with lying on your back. Just bring your right heel, your right foot up to sideways, yeah. Okay, and then change to the other side. Lovely, and then release. Okay, so from there, let's go into sitting. So if you want to lift up onto your block or whatever, just get yourself into a nice comfortable position that you can sustain. So if you need to sit up high, then do. Okay, now we're going to take the soles of the feet together. You can have your feet quite far away if you need to, and then we're going to, if you can, bring the heels in towards the body and just let your knees drop out to the side. You can use your blocks to support your knees if you've got the right, if you find that helps you to soften and relax in the groin area. It might seem counterproductive, but if you've got your knees just free floating like that, what happens is you tend to brace your body to prevent your knees from falling open too much in a way that might damage your muscles. So if you've got something under your knees, then your muscles go, okay, no worry, we're not going to overstretch, we can just relax. So it can help to have something under your knees, under your legs. Okay, sitting up really tall, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Again, in through the nose. So thinking about your spine, you want to be really long through the front body, crown of the head, reaching the ceiling. Now we're going to clasp our hands together. So take your hands, clasp them together. Hands clasped together, Richard. And then we're going to push our hands away, out in front of us. Clasp your hands and then push your hands away. So you want your backs of your hands, that's it, away from you. Good. Keep your shoulders down away from the ears. Keep long, let the back waist come back. And then bring the hands up to the throat. And again, stretching out, shoulders down. Breathing. If you need to keep the elbows slightly bent, then that's fine, but don't lift your shoulders. Okay, then we're going to take the backs of the hands onto the top of the head. Backs of the hands on the top of the head, on the crown of the head. And then can you take your elbows back behind you? As you do that, let your sit bones descend. Watch that you haven't arched the back. And then you're going to stretch up. Richard, you want the backs of your hands on the crown of your head. And then we're stretching up from there. Breathing. Breathing. Lovely. And then release. Okay, we'll just change the leg position there. So we'll stretch the legs out wide. And we're going to clasp our hands again. Stay propped up onto a block if that helps you to get your nice straight spine. Clasp your hands again, but this time we're changing the clasp. So the other little finger is going underneath. And again, we're just going to stretch out. Keep our shoulders down. Sternum lifted. If you need, your elbows can be slightly bent, but gradually try and straighten. Breathing. No, not straight. Richard, don't go straight up yet. Keep your arms down for the time being. And now we're taking the backs of the hands on the throat. Throat first. We're doing it in 3 stages and exhale, stretch. Shoulders down. Breathing. Stretch through your elbows if you can. And now the back of the hands on the crown of the head. And stretching up. Straight arms, shoulders dropping down away from the ears. Feel how you connect the sit bones with the cushion or the chair, block, whatever you're sitting on. Drop your shoulders, straighten through the elbows. The more you can drop your shoulders down, let the crown of the head lift, the more you'll feel that pelvic floor engaging. Very nice, Victoria. Breathing. And release. Yep, relax, Richard. Yes, relax. Oh my Lord, I don't think you can see me very well. Okay, let's take our belt and put it around the right foot. Keep our legs nice and wide. And we're going to sit up tall as we can and then rotate around to the left. So if you find that okay, you can start to work your right hand down towards the right foot. So you're leaning slightly you're letting your right side move over to your right thigh as you turn. But if that's not happening, don't stress your body. Give yourself the height you need. That's nice, Trish, lovely. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So Ujjayi breath. And we're not, okay, rotating on your axis, on your spine, like a corkscrew. Okay, and then we'll just change sides. So we're going to put our loop around the left leg, sitting up straight. If you can start to let that left side move over to the left thigh, but don't be in a rush. And then we're going to rotate the whole spine round. Don't lift your arm yet, just get that lovely shoulder rotation. You can have your hand on the floor, or you can have it slightly raised, but don't lift it up in the air. Breathe. Keep that back waist from pushing forward, so you're just slightly letting it come back and let your sit bones descend, and then hopefully you'll feel that pelvic floor activating. Breathing. Nice, lovely. Okay, so we're going back to the first side again. Holding your loop. Now this time we stretch out, so we're holding the right belt on the right leg, and then just rotate over to the left. Lift that left arm. Now this time we're going to turn the arm so the palm faces up. Rotate from the inner arm. See if you can bring your inner arm to your ear, and then if there's any possibility of any stretch, you're beginning to lengthen that right side to over the right leg, and stretching. Look underneath the armpit, so we're getting a left side stretch. So see if you can rotate to look behind, underneath your arm. Nice, and then release. So we'll change side. We're not going to super heroics today, we're just getting that feeling of the beginnings of that pose. Rotate your trunk so we're facing over left leg. Lift up the right arm, get your rotation. Bring the inner arm to the ear, and then just stretch up to the ceiling. If you can start to lean forward over to your left. So you'll feel that stretch up through the right side. Nice. Exactly, Richard. Good. Don't push it. Lovely, Kirsten. Yeah, that's better on that side, Trish. Looking underneath the armpit. And then release. Great. And then we'll just see if we can, if there's any forward movement, just take the hands on the floor in front of you. Just see if there's a possibility to lean forward a little bit. Some of you will be able to get your elbows, your forearms on the floor, or you can use your chair and just lean forward onto your chair. So it just gives you a bit of extra stretch Send these heels down into the mat. So wherever you find to go, just give yourself a little bit of a challenge, but not so much that it makes your body tense. And then we're going to soften and hold it for 10 breaths. If you find it is impossible with straight legs, you can bend your knees or cross your legs. Yeah, Richard, maybe cross your legs to come forward. So now we're just leaning forward, Richard. So if you want to, you can keep your legs straight or you can bend your knees. Nice. And then release. I don't think that was 10 breaths, was it? Nearly. Okay, and then we're going to finish up on the floor. So let's just lie on the floor. We're going to bring our right ankle in front of our left knee and pull our left knee towards us. So we've got our right ankle in front of our left knee. Take the right hand through the gap. You can use your belt to catch around the shin, if you like. And then we'll switch sides. So the left ankle now in front of the right knee, and we're bringing the left hand through the gap between the legs, and we're catching. We're catching the right thigh or the right shin, so that we're getting a little stretch. You want to lift your foot off the floor, so you're catching around the other knee, Richard. If you need to, you can have your belt. So I'll just say that again. The left ankle is above your right knee. That's it. And then you take your left hand, put it through the gap between the legs, and you're going to catch your right knee. So you want to use your belt to pull that foot off the floor. So you've got your right foot on the floor. You want to lift it up. So use your belt. That's it. Very good. Yeah. Keep your shoulders tucked under. So we're just breathing and softening into wherever you're feeling that stretch. If you find that it's hard for you to get your foot off the floor, another way to do it is just put a block. Put your 2 blocks, Richard, under your foot, the one that's on the floor. So if you get your blocks, and then okay, everyone undo this. I'm going to show you this. For some people, it's really easy to bring your foot off the floor, but what you can do is get your blocks, Richard, and you put your blocks on the floor, and then you can put your foot on the block, and that way you don't have to catch, and you're already getting a stretch. So it could be that that works better for you is to have your foot up on a block, and then if you, as long as you're getting something happening in the glute, then that's good. Okay, from there we're going to bring the knees up, and we're taking the knees to the left. If you just land on some cushions, and you're going to rotate to the right. So we're doing a passive twist, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Yeah, and then we're bringing the knees back. We're going to take the knees over to the left now. So we're lying on the floor. Let our knees flop now. Sorry, not to the left, to the right. Landing on some, landing on something, and then we've got our left shoulder down. So Richard, we're doing a little twist, supported twist. So the knees come to, in my case, the right side. And you land on something. So you want to have your blocks or something, that's it, to meet your knees. And you look the opposite way to what your knees are going. So your knees are going one way and you're going to look the other way. So it's a gentle twist, but a relaxing, softening one. You're not actively working, but you're passively allowing your knees to be supported. Okay, and then from there, we're going to just stretch out through both legs. We're going into our corpse pose, our Shavasana. If you want to prop your knees up, then do that. Tuck our shoulders under, arms out to the side. Palms face up, lying in a straight line. Just let your toes fall away from the heels. That lovely open chest. If you need something under your head, just pop that underneath. And then once you've got your position settled, just going to relax into that. Kirsten, use your chair to lift your calves onto. That's it. Allow the lower jaw to fall away from the upper jaw. Lovely, and then from there, we're just going to gently move our fingers and toes, stretch our arms and legs, and just have a big stretch. And then just rolling on to one side. And then we'll come in your own time if we can come up into sitting. Lovely, thank you.